Hello guys and welcome back to another Sons of the Forest guide. I'm absolutely loving the game and I've got plenty of content prepared, but in this video we're going to be talking about various advanced tips that I don't think you'll know, or at least a lot of these I don't think you'll know. So we're going to jump straight into it, but if you do enjoy this video, if you find it helpful, please do hit the thumbs up and why not subscribe to the channel, as I look forward to covering this game a lot over its period of release. The first thing that I wanted to really talk about was how you can scale areas. You can see this. If you jump, this is a bit like the Bethesda hack. You can jump up and pretty much get anywhere that you want using the jump, providing the wall isn't vertical. So as you can see here, we're making our way to the very top with relative ease. And the second tip is when it comes to sleds, they will stop you from taking any fall damage. It doesn't matter if it's a slope or a vertical drop, it will block all damage that you take. And to demonstrate the vertical cliffs, we've got this one here. We're going to grab our sled, jump in it, and fall. No damage. Nice. You can also use these sleds on dry land as well as the water, providing it's steep enough. The seasons do tend to last, on normal at least, 5 days at a time. So if we place down a little tarp here, and we can sleep for a few days. Let's check out how many days we're on. Okay, we're on 19. I'm going to skip to winter and then we'll see how many days it lasts. So we should have winter on day 31. So you can see in the trees now that it's autumn. There we go. So day 31 is currently snow, which means the last day of snow should be day 36. So we're going to skip through again. But do bear in mind when doing this that if you're not doing normal, or if you've got custom lengths, which you can do, then it will be different for you. But if you are in normal and it comes to autumn, you can see the trees have turned an orange auburn color. You'll know that you have 5 days to prepare before it becomes winter. And obviously the enemies are going to be more aggressive in winter as well. So today should be there we go. Fantastic. It is now spring. Don't you just love those pesky little birds, seagulls? Well, if you shoot them, notice how we get feathers from them. But we can also, along with skinning them, we can hit them again, and that will give us more feathers. And you can do this 2 times. Great way to harvest feathers if you're struggling to find them. For those of you who don't know, it's not really an advanced tip. It was something that should have been in the very first rendition, but we can now add hotkeys from 1 to 0 for various items. So for example, here, if we wanted to have this as an item, we can press 2, and this will be equipped to hotkey 2, this to 3, for example, and now we can swap between them. The next tip for you is if you hold down control, you can sneak. We can tell this because we have the little stealth eye to the left of our strength meter. This is great for sneaking around enemies, but more importantly, if we head out into a pond or the ocean here, we can sneak up on fish. So as you can see, we are sneaking up on a fish here, and we just hit it and we've got it on the spear for us. Really easy way to catch fish. Sorry, mate. Here's another tip for you. Notice how we cannot grab the radio. Well, if you want music at your base, all you need to do is speak to Kelvin and ask him to get the radio and to follow you. Which brings me to another important tip. If you're looking for some music to chill to while you're playing this game, do check out my Spotify playlist because we produce our own music. And if you're a content creator, you can use it in your streams and in your YouTube videos without worrying about copyright. It's all free to use. Check the link in the description below. How was that for a segue? Here's another tip for you. We're going to place down really quickly a log storage. Now, there are two things that we can do with this. The first one you may or may not know. And the second one I'm going to share with you, and you possibly won't know. This is probably the biggest thing that I've just found out thanks to a very kind comment in one of our previous videos. If we ask Kelvin to go get logs, we can ask him to fill the holder here. He's going to grab various logs that are around. Well, go on. And you'll notice that he will plop them in here. You have to keep him well rested, otherwise he becomes very slow. But you can see he will fill this up for you. So this particular tip was shared in the comments by Dean Savvy, and I'm very, very thankful for them sharing this one. So if you guys have your own advanced tips that we don't cover, make sure to put them in the comments below. You never know how helpful it's going to be for someone. But here we have Kelvin's been working. He's placed a few items in the log holder down there, but we're going to grab the rope gun here, and we're going to aim it so that it's close to the log holder. From here, we can place down the zip line, and then if we add the logs to the zip line, they will automatically load into the log holder. How incredible is that? If you did find that tip useful, do put in the comments. Thanks, Dean Savvy. It helps a lot. I'm sure they will appreciate it. The next tip that I have for you comes with the use of sticks. Now, if we place these in the ground so that they're standing, you can create a fence out of them. But what the game doesn't tell you, and you might know if you played the forest, is you can grab yourself an axe, and from here we can use that to create a hedgehog spike. And if you walk into it, it's gonna hurt. You can also reinforce this using the stones. So in case you didn't know, this is a really good way to improve the defensive features of your base. Here's one for you if you're very precious about your bases. You can destroy them with axes. However, if that's not your cup of tea, you can go over to your options, go across to gameplay, and here you can turn structure damage off. And this will render your buildables impenetrable, which is perfect if you don't want to have to deal with protecting your base from mutants or enemies, or just trolls online. Sometimes you need to cut a log up, and it can be really difficult to find the spot for cutting the logs. As you can see here, there we go. We can hit them and they will cut into pieces. However, if you want to do this easier, place the log in vertical fashion, and then from here, we can quite easily see where the chopping points are. If you want to place a marker on this map, you can't really do it yourself directly onto the GPS. However, you can see we have one a little bit in this direction as green. The way that you do this is by grabbing a stick once again. We're going to pop it in the ground, and from here you're going to grab any excess GPS locator that you have, and you can place this down where you want. I haven't worked out how to change it so that it stays a different image on the GPS. So I don't know if that's a bug for the time being, but that is how you can mark your map. The paths in Sons of the Forest are a great way to get around. However, they often lead to various villages, and so you'll find the cannibals quite often patrol along here. So if you're trying to avoid cannibals, if you want to build in peace, try and build further away from the road get off into the wilderness and you'll find yourself in a much more peaceful environment, at least for the first few days. You probably know this tip already, but just in case you don't, every time you jump into the game, once you reload it, you'll find that all the items that had been scavenged before will be replenished. But a good tip when it comes to building your base is to build nearby to one of these scavenging spots so that you have free ammunition, medicine, and food nearby whenever you jump in, which can just help you, give you a little boost. And the last thing that I wanted to share with you was just 2 log hacks, which are currently doing the rounds and will probably be patched very soon. The first one, if you place a log horizontally on the floor, you can then grab a stick and pick this up, and then all you need to do is knock this over and it will spawn 2 logs. That one unfortunately didn't work very well because the second log spawned under the ground. So you may have to move it across slightly or find another location. There you go. But another one that was suggested to me today was through the use of these blueprints. If we grab the small log cabin, for example, we can place this down, and if we're pretty close to it, we can back off slightly. You see this red cross. If we press C in the right location, you can see that we are giving ourselves an unlimited amount of logs. Unfortunately, we are taking damage, so what I would recommend with this is that you place maybe a log or 2 down and you stand on that. So if you do want to do any creative building, this is a great way in which you can do it. I'll probably do some in the upcoming weeks. I've got plenty more planned. But there you go, another tip for you. But there you are, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do hit the thumbs up. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. We've got plenty more content coming up over the next few days. Oh, goodness me. Special thanks does go to all of our amazing supporters, most notably our Solarclipse patrons, James Irwin, Firefless, and Treble, as well as our Lunas, the Calamity, Ben, Star, Shoku, the MN Wolf, and that dude AW, as well as our Blood Moon of the day, which today is Blind Teacher. Until next time, as always,